So there with the announcement from Sam Zurich, we are underway with a 3-for-1 roll-off. 3 bowlers enter. Only 1 bowler will move on to competition later today. And joining me in the booth right now, the man who's taking us through the rest of the day, Dave Lamont. And Dave, you walked in at a good time, a nice, exciting time in this event.
Well, I don't think I've seen a 3-for-1 before. You're going to have to give me a second to rearrange my headset to the way I had it the other day. But, yeah, this is unusual. You don't often see them run the lanes in one end of the building and leave a couple completely untouched. But, of course, they want to give them as close to exact conditions as you can. So, and then you have the defending champion, and you might have to throw a 400 to qualify in this one just because of the way scores have been here.
Yeah, definitely. And this pair hasn't been run yet, so they're still bowling on the remnants of the initial application this morning of the 39-foot chameleon pattern. There will be a full re-oil of all lanes in play for the next 2 rounds. They'll have the re-oil for the round of 16. They'll bowl on the remnants for the round of 8. And then, of course, there's always fresh for the stepladder finals for these PBA Tour events.
I talked to Tommy Jones, who's gone through during the break for a little bit, and he said, we all thought after we did our practices a couple of nights ago that the scores would be lower than they were in Virginia. And obviously that did not turn out to be the case, especially with the Sherman through Atlanta-like rampage that we had yesterday from the B squad.
And, yeah, it's nothing but strikes early here in this roll-off. Once again, only 1 player will advance out of this roll-off. Michael Davidson manages to have a huge finish in the 4th game of Castro round to get to 255 and just sneak by in 15th place. Svennson, Azcona, and Kruml in this roll-off at plus 326. Zach Wilkins just missed by 6 pins. Chris Sloan missed by 8. Zeke Bate by 14. Tom Doherty by 21 were your closest competitors to that number 16 spot. And Kruml the first to blink, and he may be...
Well, that's about it. This is the equivalent of when they have that occasional PGA Tour event when a guy wins at 30 under. And, you know, if you don't shoot a 63 every day, you might be in your rental car on your way back to the air to your private jet.
Yeah, I mean, right now, getting in, looking ahead to the round of 16, 8 players will advance out of that round. And the difference right now between A.J. Chapman in 8th at plus 387 and one of these players at plus 326, 61 pins. There's only 3 games to get that back. Yeah. It can be done. We saw a big round out of Dom Barrett today, who won the roll-off last night to get in 32nd place, and Barrett goes 216 over for 4 to get up into 10th place. So there's still room for these players to get up into the top 8 and try to get in the top 4. Problem is you're dealing with the mental task of trying to get out of a roll-off right now, and you're going to have 0 time to recover for that round of 16.
Well, I think for some guys that's probably better. Less time to think. You just got to go out there and react and bowl. And maybe for others, they do want that little break to sort of regather themselves. Everybody's got their own approach. If you're Azcona, you have to be attacking this with some confidence, having won here a year ago. He's had a 300. He's one of the 35 bowlers, it seems, that have won a 300. We're now giving away S&H green stamps to the guys who...
Wow.
Yeah, that's a very old reference to the guys who bowled 300 games.
Well, you can pull half a sheet away from Azcona right now.
Yeah, and that's, well, it's makeable, but you're right. Anything that's not an X on that board right now, and you have to feel like that's a major step behind.
How about this kid? Svennson of the William variety. 2nd ever PBA Tour event. He's 18 years old, and he's trying to prove his mettle here in a roll-off. Hated that shot and lucky to get 7. It's a good thing that he had nothing on it when it left his hand because it was left. And we're spinning ball in back. You can see it there in lane 21.
So among the players who aren't going to be with us, unfortunately, Zeke Bate, Tom Doherty, Chris Barnes. Well, Barnes will be with us today at our 3 o'clock final. Josh Blanchard, Osku Palermo didn't make it through. J.R. Raymond, I remember listening to you this morning. I think at one point, J.R. early in the event, and I say early in the event because that was yesterday, was 2nd, I think. And he dropped. And Wes Malott did not bowl today. He's 32nd. And so he's going to end up being in last. Tell you another guy who's really made a move from the last 24 hours. When I got here yesterday just to hang out and watch, Marshall Kent was having a tough time. He's not anymore.
No.
Marshall threw a 10-12 series this morning. He's averaging 239, and he is 4th right now.
Yeah,
and he was stalking around here yesterday, just angry. I didn't even approach him to say hello because I've seen, competitors with that look before, and they don't want to talk to you, even to say hi. Well, he's figured it out. And a guy with a world of talent is now sitting in a position where he could make the show at 3 o'clock today.
Yeah, it's 277, 266 was Marshall's start to the round.
Gonna get a trip? No. Carry here is very good, I've been told, and so I've seen. A lot of those 9-pins have been tripped. Messengers flying across here, even if you're Belmonte or Jesper Svensson. And it's been a high-scoring thrill ride.
The thing is that the front part of the lane seems to be holding up so well today that these guys can keep reasonable angles down lane where it's just, they always say the 6-degree entry angle is the best entry angle. It seems like a lot of these guys are finding it. As you said, pins spinning back and forth across the deck.
I think that's going to be the name of the bar that you and Jeff are going to start, the 6-degree entry angle. Featuring, as Jeff would say, pretentious cocktails on one side of the menu and then a more Phil-like, homey approach.
There's no split menu at my place.
No, it would be the pretentious cocktails.
Pretentious cocktails. That's okay. Nothing wrong with the occasional pretentious cocktail.
I'd get to sneak the one small plate on there. That would be something that would just be totally out of left field. Like baked chicken feet or something like that.
Nothing wrong with. Ooh, wait, no. You may have to open your own place.
Deep fried durian.
There you go.
Kruml in front of the ball return. He'll be taking it down to 3 steps on the shot. Well, 5 if you count the backward steps there for timing.
Yeah, I don't recall ever seeing guys standing this close. I mean, Svensson, usually we see right-handers with this big build-up, almost like a runway, and he is just a couple boom, boom, bam.
Yeah. And he is a multi-time youth champion in Europe, and to make his way over here at the age of 18, that's some serious confidence. Of course, good time for him right now, though, with being in the summer and getting some Carolina heat instead of some. Well, then again, in Europe this summer,
right now, yeah. The only guy who's cold right now is Belmonte.
Svensson mounting the ball return.
Yeah, look at this. Boom, boom. Was that 2 steps?
It may have been. It was a very small short step to get the timing.
Yeah.
It was practically 2.
Yeah, that is highly unusual from what I've seen over the last 3 years with these two-handers. I mean, guys like Simonson who are running up to there, and even, it's fascinating to watch.
Svensson 19 over Kruml and a minimum of 13 over Azcona. That's assuming Azcona is going to strike on this shot. As Azcona yet to finish his 6th frame.
And what you're watching is the roll-off for 16th spot here on FloBowling. And then the round of 16 was supposed to start at 11:30. It's probably going to get pushed a little bit, I would think.
It's going to be closer to noon by the time they get their practice in and such.
And also finish the oiling process.
Another 39 feet of chameleon going out between rounds.
So spares are not victories. A couple of days ago in Virginia, spares were a reason to celebrate, but not here.
Yeah, especially for Kruml because those spares are coming opposite of strikes, and when you're visiting Amsterdam while you're in Wilmington, it's not a good thing. As he's Dutch through 6.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
I just planted the seed for a moment and see if it would germinate.
I didn't know if you were headed for a coffee house reference or what you had on your plate there.
It does sound like a good between blocks break, though. Svensson, once again, keeping it rolling. Turkeys on either side of a 4th frame spare. And he keeps his lead out at a minimum of 13 over Azcona. And he's 29 up on Kruml. Kruml quickly becoming a non-factor in this event. Don't count him out. He still can put 240 out there, but we've seen 240s not even make progress in the regular field, let alone a roll-off.
Well, when you guys were wrapping up last night and I was watching, you talked about, Chris Prater, 300. He had the first of what seems like 100 300 games here and didn't even get through to the top 16. Oh,
Ooh.
Boy, Champ Azcona just took one right there in the jaw.
Oh, this could be over quickly.
Well,
especially because you see Svennson wasting no time stepping up, going, all right,
that's
boys.
Smart.
Yep.
I'm really happy he's not going through a process that he's just going to get up there and fire. I mean, he's bold enough to know what's going on here just because he's a teenager.
He's going to be up by at least 30 pins over both opponents with a carry there, and how about that?
Yeah, he knew. He knew what that meant.
Oh, did we get the miracle conversion? You got a rattle.
Well, William, the good news is you made it. The bad news is you're going to be in last place if you do indeed make it. And you're going to be way back of Brad Miller and B.J. Moore, who are only a pin apart. Andrew Anderson, 11 back of the lead. Marshall Kent at plus 469 is in fourth, but only 18 ahead of the rippingly hot Bill O'Neill, your champion from a couple of days ago, who has a chance to make it again. In fact, I went ahead and practiced handing him a check this morning just in case. Because we did a pretty good job the other day, and it may happen again today, man. I mean, the way he's throwing it.
Yep.
And the AJs are in again. Both A.J. Chapman, who was runner-up, and A.J. Johnson, who made the cut. Made a couple of cuts before he was eliminated and finished 11th.
Yeah, Johnson, the only player in our top 4 for the USBC Cup point standings that isn't an event winner to this point. We'll go over the full USBC Cup points during the round of 16 and present a scenario or two, I'm sure, as we get through the day. As this event is the 4th of 9 point scoring events for those USBC Cup players. And lots of implications with those points for 5 or 8 guys.
A couple times I see his shots and I say to him, I almost say out loud, that's got to hurry. And it does.
You're waiting for the turn signal to come on the ball to designate when it's going to move.
That's exactly right. Has he locked it down here?
It's pretty darn close. I mean, Kruml can still shoot 240.
Yeah, but Svensson.
So Svennson with a 9 count, 219, 237. Yeah, Svensson just got to show up in the 10th.
No, 18-year-olds are forgetful, but I guarantee you he'll be there for this.
So yeah, 9 count. If he goes 9 out, he's at 246. So yeah, barring a Greek church and a humongous mental mistake of Don Janello proportions. When Janello threw away a Greek church, he needed 3 pins for a win in a tournament back in the 80s. Left the Greek church and then needed 3 on the convert for a win, and he threw it in the gutter. He was so upset with himself. That doesn't get as much recognition as Pete Weber's gutter ball, but
there you go.
There it is.
So William Svensson is going to be number 16, and that is that's a victory lap around the building here for him. To take down that final spot. So the defending champion has been knocked out. Long live the king. And Nick Kruml is going to end up with a very, very nice score and a check at least. But that's going to be it.
Yeah, Kruml could not figure out this left lane early. 3 straight 9 counts on the left lane, and that's going to be the difference between himself and Svensson in this match.
Yeah, Svensson hasn't missed since the 4th, and that was his only non-strike so far. Until there, but that's quite all right. So he's looking at a possible 268, and that has locked everybody out.
Excellent. I got time to go look and see if there's a French dip on the menu here at 10 Pin Alley.
Well, are you a French dip aficionado?
Oh, yes.
Then you must be a Portillo's fan.
Oh, absolutely.
Attaboy.
They had a pretty good one at Jack 60 as well when we were in Jackson a couple of weeks back. I don't see a French dip on the
Get the
menu.
Italian beef at Portillo's.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
the way to go. Get a hot dog. It's all good.
Get the extra dip. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No,
It's not good unless you have to change your shirt once you're done.
Well, that's why you went with a black shirt today. So if anything I said, I'm gambling. I'm wearing white today. But after a long conversation after the show with one of the bowlers, I decided to also not have my tie clash like it did the other day. That's what happens when you pack while your wife is asleep. This time, it didn't happen. This was wife approved.
One solution to that, Dave, I actually have it in my condo. Walk-in closet.
She gets that.
Oh, jeez.
I get the standing closet where I look around and,
Hey, let's get out of here so they can re-oil. We'll vacate the booth too. We'll give them all the room they need.
Yeah, I think we've seen enough. William Svennson is your man. He joins Dom Barrett, who's standing by here, and the rest of the crew for the round of 16 that's coming up. Your estimated start time, Phil?
Let's go with probably right around, I'd say right before noon at this rate.
All right, we'll say 11:55 to make it fair. To give them 30 minutes. So on behalf of the whole crew, we'll be talking to you in about a half hour. See ya.